Welcome to another real-time Power BI tutorial. Today, we will learn some new techniques, including the use of non-text characters, or symbols, and the use of real-time data, from SQL Server. As usual, we will try to make it interesting. So, this time, we will create a video game, in Power BI, to practice SQL, DAX, and visualization. This will be a dice game, with 2 players, each rolling dice at their own turn. Whoever scores 100 first, wins. The one leading, may never win, as they may never get a 1, at a 99. Just like poor player 2 here. So, let's start our interesting tutorial, and design a dice game, in Power BI. First, go to the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, and connect to your SQL Server. Create a new table in an existing database, or a new one. We will use an existing one. Open a new query and enter this SQL code to create a new table. Our table will include turn number, turn count of player 1, dice result of player 1, turn count of player 2, dice result of player 2, total score of player 1, total score of player 2, and latest dice result. Press execute to create the table. We can use the select command, to view and verify the table. Here is our table, which is currently empty. Now enter this code, and keep this code for future as well. This code will first delete any existing data from the table, and then enter zeros in the first row. This code will be used to reset the game, or start new game at any time. So, if we create a graphical user interface for our game, this code will be behind our reset, or start new game button. Let's use the select command, to load the table, and press the execute button, to run the code. Our previous data has been deleted, and a row with 0 values has been inserted. Create a new query, and define a variable for turn count. Create 2 variables, to count turns of each player. Declare a variable to store the value of dice. Finally, declare 2 variables, to store total scores of each player. Now, enter the code to calculate the current turn, by adding 1, to the maximum turn number, which is obviously the previous turn. In the same way, calculate the current turn number of player 1, by adding 1 to the previous turn. Same method will be used, to calculate the turn number, of player 2 as well. Next, calculate the value of dice, which is obviously a random number. To get a random number, we can use the random function. But this gives us a random value between 0 and 1, whereas a dice has random values between 1 and 6. To get a random number between 1 and 6, we can multiply the random number generated by random function, with 6, and add 1 to it. Add the previous score of player 1, to the current dice score, to calculate the total score of player 1. Calculate the total score of player 2 in the same way, by adding their previous score to current dice score. Now we need to write the game logic. Player 1 will always have the first turn. So, if both players have same number of turns, it will be player 1's turn. Otherwise, it will be the turn of the player 2. Our game will have maximum 100 scores, so we need to write a logic, to run the game till this score is reached. Add the same logic, for both players. We also need to tell the system what to do, once the maximum score is reached. That code will be added to the else block, for both players. If it's player 1's turn, and score is less than 100, add following values to the table. Since it's player 1's turn, we will exclude dice score from player 2's total score. Similar code will be used for player 2's turn, if score is less than 100. If current dice causes total score excess of maximum, only turn and dice will be registered, keeping total score unchanged. A6 for player 1, when their total is 98, will not be counted, as they need 2 or 1. Similar code will be used for player 2 as well. Our code for the dice game is now complete. Add a select command at the end, to view the updated table. We can now execute the query, and test the game. We can use the reset query at any time, to reset the game, and start from beginning. There is a small mistake here as well, let's correct that too. And then, we sort the table in descending order, by turn numbers. Let's reset the game, and play a new game. Each player can either click on the execute button, or press the F5 button, on the keyboard, on their turn. On each turn, dice is rolled, and score is added to the total score of player, whose turn it was, along with their current dice score and turn number. Player 1 has reached 98, now any value above 2 is ignored on their turn. And finally, they got the much needed 2 on their dice, and won the game. Now, we will create a Power BI dashboard, to visualize this game. To connect the Power BI desktop application to your SQL database, get the address of your SQL Server. Click on the SQL Server button, and enter the server address, and database name. Select Direct Query, as Data Connectivity Mode, and press OK. Select the table, and click on the Load button. Let the Power BI desktop application connect to your SQL Server database. After which, your table will be available in the data pane, along with its fields. Add a title to your dashboard, using the text box visual, and place it at the top of the canvas. Now, we will add a new measure, which will let us know whose turn it is to play. If player 1's turns are greater than player 2's turns, it is player 2's turn, otherwise, it is player 1's turn. Add a card visual, to display this information, on top of your dashboard. Let's make our interface more attractive, by adding some symbols, using the Unicode characters function. Add an appropriate Unicode character code, to display its symbol. We will use the same symbol, for both players. You can choose same symbol or a different one for both. Create another measure, to display the rolled dice on screen. Create a variable, to store the value of dice, rolled in last turn. Use the calculate function. And get the value of dice rolled. Sum function has no effect here, as there is just one value per turn. Use the filter function, to filter the data, to last turn. Last turn, is the one, where turn number is the highest. Or, where the turn number, equals the highest turn number. Use the return command, to return the value. For now, let's just return the value of variable d. We can verify the result, by displaying the value in a visual, and comparing it with the actual value in the SQL table. And as you can see, the value returned by the visual is 2, and the last dice rolled has also value 2. Let's turn this number into an actual dice, using Unicode character code. Unicode numbers from 9856 to 9861 represent all 6 dice faces. Use the if function to associate each dice face with 6 values returned by the variable d. Now apply the DAX function to display the actual dice instead of number. Make the dice face visual prominent and place it at the top left corner of the dashboard. Now, add the 2 more cards to display the total scores of both players. Use one of the existing card visuals to duplicate and display the total score. The Player 1 and Player 2 fields contain scores. Their sum is the total score of each player. Create another new measure to display the status of the game. You can use the if function. If Player 1 has reached 100 scores, Player 1 is the winner. If Player 2 has reached 100 scores, Player 2 is winner. Otherwise, the game is still in process. Duplicate an existing card visual and replace its value with status. As Player 1 was the winner, it is displaying the same. We can also add a Unicode character to display when a player wins. We can also display the total scores of both players in comparison of each other, using a bar chart visual. This chart will display cumulative scores of both players, in real time, as the games progresses. Add visual borders to this visual as well. Finally, add a line and column chart to display more detailed information on each turn. Add the turn number to the x-axis. Add the current scores of both players to the column y-axis. Add the total scores of both players to the line y-axis. Turn on the visual borders for this chart as well. And our dice game is now complete. Finally, go to the page settings and turn on the page refresh option. Set the page refresh frequency to 1 second. Now, go to the SQL Server Management Studio and reset the game. Select the gameplay query and resize the SSMS window like this. Run the query to play the game. On their turn, each player can either press the execute button or press the F5 key on the keyboard. Just remember to keep the SQL Server Management Studio in focus at all times. And this concludes our today's tutorial. Thanks for watching. We hope you liked our tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful tutorials and updates.